Hey, you doing? This is John, and you're watching John's Long Box. And today, I completely forgot about this comic. I was looking through my boxes to find something to showcase today, and I found this. Leave It to Chance by Homage Comics. This is the first issue. The It is by Luke Robinson, who did Starman, if you've seen that video, and Paul Smith. Wonderful artist. This is just a great team. You can't find a better team than this. This is just a wonderfully charming comic. The fact that this isn't an Amazon animated series or a Disney series is just beyond me. It's everything everybody would want. Okay, so I'll explain as I go along. This is a funny publication history. It's Homage Comics, and I think the 12th issue is DC Comics, and the 13th issue is Image Comics, and then it died. And if you like this, you could get a hardcover of all the issues. I think it's still available. So here we go. This is okay. Black Ops is oh, this is Image Comics. Okay, so this is Image Comics, and then just look at that artwork. 3 panels, not a splash page, but this is Lucas Falconer. This is Chance's father. Chance is the little girl you saw on the cover. So this, what is the name of the city? But it's a fictional city, and there's magic. There's trolls and goblins and witches and demons and stuff like that. And he's like a paranormal investigator who protects the city. So think of him as like a magical superhero. And they live in this little fairy castle, just idyllic. And here's the credits: James Robinson, Paul Smith, Jeremy Cox colors, Amy Green, Jonathan Peterson editor. But just look at that beautiful artwork. And I don't know, yes, this looks like computer coloring just from the gradation in the sky. But what year is this? That's a good question. Let's get 1996. Yeah, in the mid 90s is when everything went to computerized coloring. So, jumping around, I'm sorry. So here he is. Lucas Falconer is giving a press conference. That's him. That's Chance's father. And that's Chance over there. We're going to leave it to her. And Lucas, like I said, he's the paranormal investigator of the town. And this is his only daughter, and he's very protective of her. He had lost his wife to foul play, supernatural foul play, and he's very protective of his daughter. Now, the Falconer family has been protecting the town, the city, for generations, and as Chance says, it goes from parent to child. But as Lucas says, it goes from father to son, and he doesn't want to train her because it's too dangerous. Not because of like the whole patriarchy stuff, but because he already lost his wife, and he doesn't want to lose his daughter, who obviously reminds him of his wife. So, and she's just like, we can't let this, our family tradition die out. So she goes out and, behind Dad's back and does all the stuff that needs to be done. So here we are. The mayor of the town, politicians. Everything's like wonderfully old-fashioned, very like Art Deco. I just think that works so well in comic books. Oh, here's an ad for Strangers in Paradise. I kind of mentioned this in my unboxing when I talked about Serial, but this is a comic, a new Terry Moore Stranger in Paradise. It's about 2 regular girls. There's no superheroics or anything, and a couple. Are they together? Are they not together? They date other people. They date each other, looking for apartments. And I loved all that normal stuff. And then it got involved, and turns out she was like an escort, worked for like a mafia boss who was blackmailing politicians. Once it got into that kind of story, I got to admit, I kind of toned out. I like the regular stuff. It was kind of refreshing to just buy a comic book and like 2 girls are just struggling to get the rent, and then when it got into high crime stakes, I don't know. And I thought it ran on a little bit too long. And here's a little hint. She starts out as the bad person. She's actually the good she's the villain. Hands down, she's the villain. I actually have a letter published in one of their comics, and they didn't like what I had to say, but we'll leave it at that. So here she is in their keep, their castle. They live in a castle in like a little fairyland, and then there's fairies. This is her little friend. Hello, Chance. Devil's Echo. That's the name of the town. Okay, and that's her. See, it looks like a normal butterfly, but to her, you get to see its true form. Dash. That's the name of the little fairy. So you got a little fairy friend, and oh, I think I skipped a page. Yes, I did. So she's talking to Dash. You know, everything's just asking her how her training's going. She's showing her training's good, and she goes, you know, she's talking about her dad. She idolizes her dad, and her dad's a little strict, but like I said, there's actual devils and demons in the town, and they hate this family, and they already killed her mother. So you can understand Dad's a little overprotective. You know, it's easy to say when, you know, it's not you and it's not your child. Oh, he's being a jerk. So she understands. She's sympathetic about her dad, and there, you know, just some intrigue going around, some superhero. There's always fog, always, and I can't quite remember the super details of the story, but just I'm here just to showcase this wonderful artwork. This really should be an animated series. Why Disney isn't snatching this up and making this? This would be perfect. And fire, and if you can see some, you know, fire. This is the guy in the fire. Yeah, that's right. Run. And he's telling her to get out. Oh, okay. Remember when I talked about Gen 13? I talked about that team DV8. These were the bad guys. They got their own comics. And Warren Ellis, great artist, great writer. Warren Ellis, just part of that. You know, to me, he like the new school, like disciple of Alan Moore. You know, very very edgy. Sometimes I think he gets a little too edgy for his own good, but just great. And Alberto Ramos, just a great artist. This is Roberto Ramos, like his early style, but he gets more refined later on, especially like with Impulse. Impulse is just very kiddish, I guess is a good word, like very childlike, you know, in the best sense of the word. And here we go. She's dressed for some function, you know, and all girly, and then she hears the explosion. That's her father working on magical potions, and they're having a little talk about he doesn't want her to follow him, and you know, she has to go and feed. This is St. George, her pet dragon. You know, it looks a lot like Lockheed from the X-Men, because Paul Smith, I think, was the artist who designed Lockheed. Paul Smith was an artist on the X-Men following John Byrne. And when they introduced Kitty Pryde, and then later Kitty Pryde's little pet dragon, it was the same artist. That's why they have the same look. Matter of fact, she kind of looks like a young Kitty Pryde as drawn by Paul Smith. And Lucas Falconer has like a demonic visage because he was cursed. So I think even later on his ears get a little bit more pointy. But that might be, I haven't read this since forever. I read the 13 issues as they came out and then put it away. This is their Alfred. So he's like, he'll have none of it. He's being kind of harsh, but it's because his heart was broken, and he can't, like Mr. Impossible, he's not strong enough to go through that again. So he's sympathetic, and she's even sympathetic, but she's mad. She wants to, you know, she wants to go out and fight supernatural crime. And I just, looks like a salamander and flies around. Just great artwork. So she opened up the dragon cage because she felt bad that it was imprisoned, and St. George escapes. I'm in trouble now. Can't have a great dragon gonna grow up and destroy the town later on, right? Oh, Stormwatch. I forgot about this. Another Warren Ellis comic. This started out as a typical Image comic, all splash pages, big pockets, you know, like I was, you know, the goofing on the 90s comics. And then it was just, I don't know, mediocre is the best way to describe it. Then Warren Ellis took it over, and oh man, did this comic just elevated into the stratosphere. I got to dig out my Stormwatch comics. This is one of my favorite characters. Yeah, so good, so good. But this isn't about Stormwatch. This is back to Leave It to Chance. Just wonderfully atmospheric. Look at Chance in the background. Look at the fire just illuminated. Just so masterfully crafted. I just think this is so good. I don't even remember the story details. I remember the overall story, but not the overall, minutia. Yeah, you could kind of see his beast-like visage. Okay, now she's letting them know, you did what? You freed the dragon. I forget her name, but she's like a chief of police. She's like the Commissioner Gordon of the town, and the goons. This is like the mafia guy with his Tommy guns, and if I remember correctly, he gets spells and like kind of transforms his henchmen into like thuggish, orcish brutes. And here, the family. This is like the butler and the maid. The Falconers, of course, are very rich. Just kindly, she gets like they treat her like the daughter they never had. These like she gets like almost like their grandparents. Very, I could gush and gush about this. I just pick up the trade. You can get all 13 issues in one hardcover, and it's totally worth it. Astro City. Let me finish this thought, and I'll talk about Astro City. But years and years and years and years ago, I dated a woman who had a daughter, and I wanted them to like comics, so I bought the trade, gave it to the daughter, and they looked at me like I had 3 heads. I probably just would just take the money and threw it in the garbage. But I just like I buy people comic book gifts. Astro City, Kurt Busiek, Astro City. This is one of my favorite comics of all time. Get the volume. Start with the Volume 1 trade paperback. This is just like, think of Astro City as Metropolis or Marvel's Manhattan, and then this is Kurt Busiek's take on like big superheroes. So this is the Samaritan. He's Superman. The Confessor is Batman. The First Family is the Fantastic Four. And what I like about it is mostly every story is told through the eyes of citizens of Astro City. So it's a good take, and every cover is by Alex Frost. These painted covers. He kind of lost his way in the last couple of issues, if you ask me. But the first, I think it lasted like 15 years or so, and it started with an Image Comics, and then it went to DC later on. But if you could get the original run of Astro City, you will in for a treat, guaranteed. So here we are, back to Leave It a Chance. She's out looking for the dragon. Little girl driving the car, and here he is. She meets the thugs that I was talking about. The mob boss turns them into loyal goons. Look at that face. It's like scary, but not too scary. Also, this is great all ages. Adults could read this. This is just like, the best of Marvel Comics, best of DC Comics. All ages could appreciate this. So now she's running off, jumping through, being very resourceful, using the clothesline to escape down into the alleyway. The thugs are chasing after her. They're too big to use the clothesline because they're the goons. They're not too bright. Chasing after her. Where'd she go? And who's this? Well, I thought there was one more page. But that's Lucas Falconer. And I think no. I apologize. I'm wrong. It's a cliffhanger, but the next issue, the dragon comes down and saves her because the dragon's intelligent, and it is very thankful that she freed it. So that's, her secret power is like kindness and youthful optimism, while the father has been beaten down by loss and sadness. They make him crueler and mean at the beginning, but he's a good guy. And then, of course, 2 pages of text because there's no letters in the first issue, so there's just a write up from James Robinson. I keep saying Luke Robinson, but his name is James Robinson, the same author of Starman, another comic I absolutely love. So yes, just go out and get the trade. All 13 issues, one hardcover. If you don't like it, then I don't know what to say. I apologize, but I would say this. And here, an ad for Gen 13 that, you know, still going on. And this I don't know anything, but I like the artwork for this. Oh, it's by Kurt Busiek. Okay, and David Wenzel Eisner. Okay, this looks good. Wizard's Tale. I might have to pick up back issues. So there you go. Oh, as I dropped the comic. This is Leave It to Chance. Again, you could. I don't know how easy or difficult to get the original issues are, but you could pick up the trade paperback. I think it's still in print. Or I'm sure most comic book stores have it. There's a soft cover and a hard cover. There you go. Please like the videos. Subscribe. My subscriber count has been pretty stagnant. I don't know what I got to do to change that, but I'll try to come up with a few ideas. If anybody else has any suggestions, let me know. You know, all suggestions are welcome. Thanks a lot. See ya. Bye bye.